Usain Bolt's dream of claiming an unprecedented triple-triple of sprint titles in Rio was still alive after he stormed to 100 meters victory in 9.81 seconds on Sunday night, beating America's Justin Gatlin into second. In a repeat of the result at last year's World Championships, Bolt got a predictably terrible start but came from behind to overhaul drugs cheat Gatlin, who clocked 9.89 in the dying meters. Canada's Andre DeGrasse clinched the bronze medal in a personal best 9.91. Bolt entered the arena with his arms outstretched like the savior of the sport many believe him to be, and raised his finger to his mouth to silence the crowd at the start. He has not lost an Olympic race since 2008 and later this week will go for glory again in the 200 meters and 4x100 meters. If he can achieve that unmatched, he would fly back to Jamaica 2 days before his 30th birthday with a total of 9 Olympic gold medals in his possession. Ever the entertainer, he put on a yellow Jamaica baseball cap to do his lap of honor, embracing delighted members of the crowd and posing for selfies. Bolt's previous best time was 9.88 and he had been forced to withdraw from the Jamaican National Championships with injury, whereas Gatlin arrived in Rio having run the quickest time in the world this year, a 9.80 at the USA Trials in Eugene. The stage had been set for a nightmare scenario to unfold. It is perhaps oversimplistic to claim that this was a race of good against evil, but there was no question over the result wanted by the custodians of a sport which has suffered brutal and repeated blows to its credibility over the last year. Controversy is a constant bedfellow for Gatlin, but it has intensified during this Olympics, with even his compatriots arguing that he has no right to be in Rio. The gold medal winning swimmer Lily King was asked about his inclusion in the USA delegation and replied, "Do I think someone who has been caught for doping should be on the team? No, I don't." With the João Havelange Stadium the busiest it has been all week yet still not completely full, a giant roar greeted the first sight of Bolt coming onto the track for the semi-final to the flashes of thousands of smartphone cameras. The crowd chanted his name in unison even before his first act of the evening. A police helicopter hovered above and there was a nervous moment as Bahrain's Andrew Fisher was disqualified for a false start. The Jamaican retained his composure and jogged to victory in 9.86. a hundredth of a second quicker than he ran in the semi-final at London 2012. Canada's Andre DeGrasse, who shared a bronze medal in the 100 meters final at the World Championships in Beijing last summer, was the next fastest qualifier in 9.92. Bolt told the BBC, "I'm really happy, but I expected to go faster. I'm just happy that I won, and that's the key thing. After the semi-final I felt extremely good. I wanted to run faster, but with the turnaround time, we normally have 2 hours, but we had 1 hour 20 minutes, it was challenging. This is what we train for. I told you guys I was going to do it. Stay tuned, 2 more to go." Gatlin claims he does not hear boos, but he would have done well to ignore the chorus of them as his name was read out by the stadium announcer. Nevertheless, he breezed into the final, easing down to victory in 9.95, disappearing down the tunnel afterwards faster than you can say drugs cheat. Britain's 2 fastest men this year, Richard Kilty and Joel Fearn, did not make the Olympic team, their best times recorded after the selection cutoff point. In their absence, CJ Uja, drawn in the same heat as Bolt, had a fiendishly difficult task. He ran a creditable 10.01 to finish 4th but missed out on a place in the final by the thickness of his vest to America's Travon Bromell. Britain's other representative in the semi-final, James Dasalu, also crashed out, finishing 6th in 10.16. There will be no British representative in the women's 400 meters final after Christina Ahuruagu and Emily Diamond failed to advance from their semi-finals. Ahuruagu, who won gold at Beijing 2008 and silver in London 4 years later, had scraped into the British team after selectors picked her over Anika Onatra, despite the latter beating her to a bronze medal at the European Championships earlier this summer. It made sense, given her knack for peaking at just the right time, and she got a good start but came round the top then off the pace and her famous finishing speed deserted her. She strained for the line but finished 5th in 51.22. Diamond has a tough task, running from lane 1 and finished 6th in 51.49. Laura Muir confirmed her medal potential for Tuesday's 1,500 meters final by finishing 3rd in her semi-final. She produced one of the great displays of British middle distance running to win at the Anniversary Games last month, breaking a national record set by Kelly Holmes at the Athens Olympics when Muir was still at primary school. With her 73-year-old grandmother Kay, who has attended all her races since she was little, watching in the stadium. Muir stayed with Jensby Drybov and Sifan Hassan when they broke away from the pack with just under a lap to race. She jogged over the line in 4:04.16.